minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. I am your new host of the Cheap Seats, Mr. Andrew Faubert, also from the North Sports Dynasty, here to talk Buccaneers action and also miscreant action, because that's what this show is. That is why they've hired me. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe some comedic relief. I'm not exactly sure. It is pretty funny to laugh at a redheaded ginger and all that kind of fun stuff. You may be asking yourself one quick question. Why am I dressed up in my Bucs gear, my sunglasses, my hat? Well, it can only mean one thing. That it's time for the Cheap Seats. I decided to get a little dressed up here because here at the Cheap Seats where we sit, it's pretty hot up here. It's really dang hot, as in, in my world, it would be like 45 degrees Celsius. To you guys, that would be cold. But believe me, I think it gets calculated to like 116, 117 or something like that in the Cheap Seats. I don't know. It's pretty darn hot, if you ask me. So I've got me protective shades on and me hat for the miscreants to make fun of me and, just to add a little flair to the Cheap Seats. Because if I was to honestly be at the Cheap Seats, this is what I would wear. This is the only thing that I would wear. This nice little hat, probably be a Buccaneers style, with the nice little neck flap. Because you got to protect your neck when you got the red hairs, or you're going to burn. Very immense. I got my sunscreen on as well. SPF Save a Ginger. Because there's no better SPF out there than Save a Ginger. I absolutely love it. Yes. So we're here going to, first episode, we're not going to get into anything, too crazy, too wild, or anything like that, man. We're just going to be here chilling, talking miscreant stuff. But also, today's episode has basically got one little flair to it. We've already won the championship. We won the championship. We won the Super Bowl 55. That's right. We are the champions. So my question today, ladies and gentlemen, is only going to be when we get all the miscreants in and we're basically sitting up here at the Cheap Seats, is how do you feel going into next season? Are you very cocky? Are you very, worried? Are you right in the middle where you don't want to say anything like I did last year so that you don't get in trouble and you don't tick off the sports gods? Because that's what I did. I stayed as quiet as I could. Sorry, everybody. I've got strings hanging out everywhere. So, but that's the question. Are you ready for next season? Are you ready for what is about to come? Are you ready for the action? Are you ready for the Buccaneers to basically go undefeated? Because that's the other talking point that a lot of people have had. Are we going undefeated? Are we trying to go undefeated? It's one of the only things off of Tom Brady's resume that we need is to be 17-0. Or, just to be the only other quarterback to have 2 16-win seasons. That would be really cool to have as well. I don't want to go 16-1. That wouldn't be fun at all. We have one of the miscreants here today. Let's get him right in here. Mr. Matt Colston. Oh, my goodness. Oh, how did you get? Hey, first of all, whoever decided to mold that statue of me for you, I need them to tell me how much did that cost? Because, like, that's really good.
That came in a Lord of the Rings trilogy box or something they had at what do you call it, Barnes and Noble, years and years ago.
Okay, so I'm Canadian. This is going to be something new for me to enjoy every episode. At Barnes and Noble, is that just like a rip-off version of Walmart?
No, it's the opposite. It's a Starbucks with a library.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have all of them have Starbucks in it. And they're all full of books.
Okay, so that would be the equivalent of like a Chapters here, I think. Chapters
Probably.
are Indigo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going the way of Amazon, though. They're pretty much about bankrupt because of the influx of Amazon electric books.
Yeah. No, and that's the reason I don't go to the Chapters or Indigo or Barnes and Nobles anymore either. So, but hi, Mini-Me. It's so good to see me on a different platform.
You know, this is not ready for television. You're not exactly dressed.
Aren't we all, though? Speaking of undressed, the guy who undresses people with his words, Mr. Johnny Dean, the other miscreants. Now we got the miscreants flowing in here to the top of the cheap seats. How you doing today, buddy?
Slept all day, man.
Slept all day, partied all night. I like
38, 40 degrees, rain all day. So, yeah, what else is there to do?
38, 40 degrees. Like, is that Canadian? Because that's a really hot day.
That's not Canadian, dude.
Okay,
no.
I know. Listen,
same thing here.
We've been on a jungle tour.
I'm ready. Hey, I'm ready to be sitting at the cheapest of seats here at Raymond James Stadium. If you don't honestly think that I'm going to
properly, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like, we're talking SPF Save a Ginger. We got a couple of these just in case this one starts burning off. These I actually use for work because I work in a greenhouse, and these are really good for all the lights and the sunlight. Like, I literally can't see anything right now. Like, I can just barely.
Are those faux Oakleys?
Maybe. And of course, I'd be repping, like I do every show, my Michael Pittman Sr. jersey, because he wouldn't tell his quarterback that he couldn't have a number. He'd say, you know what? It'd be really nice for me to implant my stats into this league, and maybe I should let you have the number that you kind of want. Because if you suck, I'll get it back anyway.
Have you seen Pittman lately?
The workouts and stuff, like those videos? Yeah.
Well, he's in that bodybuilding stuff, man. He won a couple of championships in the Southern Division and title and stuff like that. So he wouldn't fit in that jersey anymore.
Oh, heck. No, I barely fit in this jersey with just how, skinny I am, how ripped I am. So how are we doing tonight there, gents?
How are you doing?
Like I said, I'm all ready for the sunshine and all the miscreants. And I know we got some comments flowing already, so let's get it going. What the hell is this? Mr. Mike, do you not know we're going to Raymond James? We gotta get prepared. You see my hair? Look at that. I'm not burning that off. Come on now. Prepared. Rick, come back. This Canadian is losing his freaking mind. Listen,
that's the point.
That's literally the point. They knew this going in. They're like, okay, listen, if we take one rain off of him, he may actually do us some good. Little did they know they're losing views already. No, I'm just kidding. Hey guys, Teresa, hi. Come on in Teresa. If you would like.
She's
that's
recovering.
Healing.
That's right. Johnny Dean says, let's do this. And then Barnes and Noble and get it. No, we got Indigos. They're due the ratings. Yeah. Go Bucs. That's
Tracy
right.
Chandler.
Chandler. Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody to the show. It looks like I think I can see we got a few people tuning in tonight anyway.
I need to do my diligence and start spreading the word a little bit here. So pardon me while I whip this out.
No, hey, by all means, let the world know that there's this random Canadian that decided to do a Sunday night show.
I think there's like 50 shares out there already.
Boom. So if they don't know, now you know. Canadians and Americans and everybody else around the world. So the question I have for you gentlemen is basically how I started off this show is we do have this mentality change now with the Buccaneers culture. We have now won a championship with a roster that a lot of us, have been pounding out down into the ground for the last 5 years. It's like, this is a good roster and it can do damage. We need a sheriff. And now we do have a lot of fans, online who, reasonably so and understandably so, going to stand by their Super Bowl team and say, 17-0 and, amazing stats by Brady and stuff like that. And are you guys that comfortable? Should we as the diehard fans, I mean, look at me. If we as the diehard fans here, should we be worried that, for the first time since, I guess, 2003, we are going into a season where our mentality is we are the best and all of you have to play to our standards? Matt, do you think that's going to hinder us at all?
I'm one of those people that kind of look at it like, how can we not go undefeated? Because we're so damn good and everybody else in the division is blowing chunks right now trying to rebuild. So that's half the game. And then the other half, the Brady effect. We scored 30 points a game every game in the last 8 weeks.
Yes, we did.
So if we're doing 30, the other team's got to do 30, 31, and they're not getting that much out of our defense. So I don't understand how we're going to lose, except to have off days or, we're not going to go undefeated, but it would be nice because Brady's only got, I think I did a thing a couple of months ago about the 5 things he doesn't have. Mm-hmm. One is a dynasty. That's a three-peat, which we got to get the second one to do that, right?
Of course.
And you brought up the 16-0. Now you got to go 17-0, mm-hmm. plus the 3 games after, right? 2 or 3 games. So you're looking at 20 wins. That's a hell of a lot of work,
especially for a guy who's going to be 44 years old,
right? But outside of the playoffs and maybe 1 or 2 regular season opponents like Kansas City, if we got to play them, I don't know if we're going to play them or not. But what I'm trying to say is our division is waiting for us to stomp it, and there's not much that's going to impede that except ourselves, in my opinion. So we could do undefeated theoretically, but on the opposite side of that, I don't want to see another year like they did with 16-0 and then lost that big one, to a lucky catch to bubblegum on a helmet. that kind of thing is a heartbreaker. So I'd rather go 15-2 and just be okay with it.
Fair enough.
I can see what people want to be undefeated. I can see how it's in your head because we mastered the art of sucking. We did that really well for a long time.
Well, I mean, you could ask my my co-host at North Sports Dynasty. He would probably tell you otherwise, but yeah.
What, that we can't go undefeated, or that we suck for 20 years?
No, that our sucking is say non-comparable to the Lions or the Bengals. But
that's not true.
Oh.
Up until we won the Super Bowl, Johnny will tell you who was the most losing team in American sports.
That is true. That is true.
That's master.
But remember who we won our we won 2 playoff games against the Lions, man. Come on.
Yeah, we did.
When they finally got to the point where, hey, we're gonna do that. Oh hell, we got beat by the Bucs.
Just so you all know, the link is now in the chat. So if you want to hop in and you want to get your takes on the Bucs in the next season, and are you happy? Are you sad? Are you in the middle? Are you worried? What are you guys feeling going into this next season? This is my first episode hosting, so I wanted to take it a little easy. That's why, obviously, made sure I got my sun protectors on. We want to make it look like we're actually here.
I want to make sure you're safe, though, Andrew. There is no cat around there, is there?
I mean, no. The only I was going to go a different direction with that. No, my cat is always upstairs when I do this show because she's getting fixed in like 3 or 4 days, and she every time Kim leaves, she'll sit like 5 feet away from me, and she's like, "Meow, meow." I'm like, "Okay, please don't." When I'm trying to go on live, this is no. So no, I will not have the professorette or whatever that would be. I don't have my librarian.
Anti-cat noise. First time
That's-
mine acts up, blammo.
Blammo.
So Johnny, I know that you're more of a realism when it comes to like the Buccaneers and stuff like that. And you were pretty close with what you said last year and how they would finish and basically how most of the people would finish, like the stats and stuff like that. Me and you were pretty close with the Brady stats and this, that, and everything else. Though everyone laughed at our 3 rushing touchdowns that Brady would have, and look at us now.
Right.
What do you think? Do you think it's too far-fetched to say that we would go undefeated? Are you feeling a little worried, or I know you're a big depth guy as well. Do you think we have enough depth on this team? What are you thinking?
I love the depth on this team right now, and the schedule helps a lot. And it's hard not to go all into that pool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go into that pool, man. That's I can see the three-peat, but man, I also follow the rosters of 31 other teams too.
Yes. Yeah.
And Washington football team, that's for real. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They improved vastly this offseason. Vastly.
That they
And they were already a good team to begin with.
And
they-
when they get Aaron Rodgers up there in Washington.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that either.
No.
I don't want to see Aaron. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers near the Washington football team. I don't want to see him near the Denver Broncos, and I especially don't want to see him helm the Cleveland Browns for a year or two.
He's going to be a Raider.
I'm thankful. Raiders. Then it'd be like playing Green Bay again.
Yeah. It would be a good team, but there's definitely a lot of weaknesses still there that, I mean, if Rodgers really said, yeah, I'll get traded to Vegas, it's like, buddy, please still go play for a colder team or something. I just don't
If he went to the Raiders, Gruden would trade him to somebody for a kicker. That's just.
Well, see,
that's why they think he's going to go to the Raiders, is because Gruden's there.
Well, see, and the mentality now, like especially across the league. I mean, we've seen like Brady came here, and there still was people who laugh like, yeah, what are the Bucs gonna do with an old quarterback? We won the effing Super Bowl, and it wasn't even close.
8 straight and shut Chiefs down out of 7 quarters of football.
Yep, which all 3 of us here still admit that, had 5 or 6 of those catches or tosses actually had been catches or not drops. That game could have definitely been a little bit different. They could have had a fourth quarter.
Well, you can put those drops that were definitely right in their hands on our defense, because our defense hounded them all game long, and they were hearing footsteps.
They were like triangles around every single receiver.
Yes,
and I noticed the way that they did the I don't know if it was zone or man or whatever they were playing, but it seemed like if there was one receiver, there's a immediate defender on him and then 2 backups. Yeah. So when they got the ball on a tip, there was 2 guys that were playing.
They were playing that 2 over. They were playing that 2 over coverage, man. And once they went to that in the first game, it shut it down.
Yeah, and the best part about that game though was the one thing to kind of point out with Johnny there is, with those drops and stuff like that, even when I think it was Robinson that kind of dropped one almost in the end zone there, he wasn't going to get touched for like a good 2 seconds, but it was that fear. Like he had no idea where the heck Devin White or Levante or any of those guys were. And it was such a beautiful thing. And, that's what a lot of these fans have been saying, on the socials and everywhere else now. Cause that's the big thing is you got a lot of these younger kids who are, bless their souls, they are supporting the Buccaneers very well, and I appreciate them every single time that they do that. But oh my goodness gracious, guys, you guys got to also relax just a tiny little bit. We want to enjoy this. I mean, we know that there's still holes, right? There's still holes on this roster. We're not going to be able to fix them right away because we have no cap. We just have to do the smart things like we've been doing in the draft, like if JPP, and I just use JPP as an example, we obviously hope that no player gets injured. But if JPP goes down, now all of a sudden we have Tryon, We have Barrett that can move around and stuff like that. We have that depth now that if we lose Vita Vea, we don't have to go grab more defensive tackles and stuff like that. So
that was the
JPP or Veda go down, they're going to come back stronger than they were when they went down. They always do, man. Look,
that's true.
That JPP getting his neck broken and coming back in, and then it lifted the whole friggin' team up, man. And he was a beast, dude.
That man loses thumbs and he breaks his neck. He is not someone I would ever want to be on the wrong side of. And that is probably the best trade. I still think, looking at the longevity, of the stuff, I still think that's probably one of the best trades we've done, just for the fact that we gave up a third rounder. But that was it
for JPP. So, that's crazy.
We're also going to bring in another miscreant. I love this miscreant. Biggest Florida Gator fan I have ever met in my entire life. Blue Jays supporter till the day he dies. Mr. Best of the Bay, Ray Kennedy. How are we doing, buddy?
Blue Jays supporter. Andrew, come on, man. How you guys doing tonight?
How's it going, Ray?
I'm doing good. I'm just enjoying. We got the last light of day here in Florida. The humidity it climbed below 80% this weekend, so we enjoyed that. It was up to 90 degrees in the sunshine today, but still just enjoying this beautiful weather. And I know you guys, where you're at, it's also pretty nice. So just
it dropped 40 degrees since noon.
Yeah, still got the cool. Hey, Matt,
we
keep pushing it over a little bit
40s.
west and east. South and east.
What?
He's saying push it a little bit more east. And it's funny, Ray, there, that I love the angle that you have. It's very me and my fiance were dreaming about what it would look like to literally be sitting where you get to do some of your shows sometimes. But then I saw that black truck that was slowing down right behind you, and I was like, oh crap, we're about to literally lose Ray right here on camera. This is amazing, but also really sad.
I owe that guy money. Every time I show up here at the Seminole City Center, he starts doing laps around. And as long as I stay on there, he won't mess with me. So even when I'm walking home, I'm doing a faux show on the way home because he just thinks I'm constantly on air with you guys.
I gotta say, Ray, you missed your opportunity, man. Did you see that picture that Paul Delgado tweeted out today?
No, I didn't, Johnny.
Oh, you missed your opportunity. Almost got the green line.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of this means, and that's totally okay.
You know the green flash that happens at sunset over when you
yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's Delgado, the weatherman at Fox 13 News in Tampa, and he tweeted that picture out. Man, it was pretty good.
Nice. See, I gotta get to.
Has anybody seen a Canadian rocket dropping in the air yet?
It's hitting the Maldives, dude.
You mean that? Hold on. The Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese dropping a rocket on us.
Is there a difference?
How dare you? If only you knew the truth. Yeah, I actually was up pretty late last night, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and it was like 10 minutes ago. They were like, I was seeing all the videos from across the world, and I'm like, that's actually, as scary as it is, it's kind of cool. And then on the other side of it. Oh yeah, it dropped, dude. It dropped. I'm gonna bring in a super straight and very black Stephen Glasgow in here first. How we doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, Stephen.
How you guys doing? What's happening?
Good, buddy. Good. Okay, now we got a nice little sesh here that we can have on top of the cheap seats here at Raymond James Stadium. But this rocket, when it fell, it apparently was like very, very close to these islands of the Maldives. Like we're very close. And I kid you not. So I'm a little inebriated last night on some edibles and some legal substances here in Canada. And I'm sitting right here and I'm scrolling. I see that. And my old, not my old lady, she's very young, and happy Mother's Day to her and to all mothers out there.
Yes.
How dare I forget that? Thank you to all mothers for putting up with all five of us miscreants. And this sixth Canadian miscreant that I bring in, I'm not Canadian. That's the biggest lie I've seen since the election here in Canada. That being said, we had this funny little back and forth, me and my fiance, about the rocket going down to the Maldives. Could literally be imagine being one of those people, those a little bit cuckoo, and there's this whole conspiracy with the COVID and stuff, and they're just kind of done with everything, and they're like, find me a place that I can get away from this rocket falling, that I can get away from COVID for a bit, and that I can still get drunk in a nice hot place. And then their husband or their wife would probably like, well, why don't we go to the Maldives? Like, yeah, no rocket's gonna fucking hit these little tiny islands. It got pretty darn close, man. Like they're probably sitting there like, you do see that, right? Like, honey,
Well,
is there a way to get off
NASA on the Fox network yesterday, talking about how we need to sue China for being so irresponsible with their junk.
Yeah, and if we start doing that, the problem that's going to happen is they're literally going to send that picture out of all the space junk that's outside of Earth in orbit. That's 92% American. And they're going to be like, why don't you go clean that up? And be like, well, I mean, ISS guys, don't you like us?
How do they not have on the International Space Station? How do they avoid all that garbage? I'm waiting for the day when we get a news report like that movie that Sandra Bullock was in, where the arm got broken in half and they need to come home quick.
They did.
Soup can.
I think there was the last batch of astronauts, I think, that were going to the ISS station had a bit of an issue getting there because they had to miss some debris. So like they had a late entry coming in because they had to miss debris or they had to calculate going around it.
That actually happens on almost every flight.
Yep. And the only reason it got so, say, respectively popular last time is because of the damage that it quite possibly could have done. Like it was like, hey guys, we're about to possibly lose 5 astronauts that gave up 40 years of their lives to go to the best damn schools across the world, and we're gonna lose them because of space debris.
Flying soup cans.
How dumb do we look to all the aliens out there that literally NASA apparently has proven, or the Pentagon has proven, that there's something out there?
You got to be pretty damn ignorant to think that we're the only ones here. Hey, I mean, when you look at the whole thing.
Do they play football there?
There's got to be another Earth.
Oh my God. Could you imagine Space Jam type like football? Universes getting together to play on one planet that's specifically just for football. I am all for this.
Move me to that planet.
The Space Force that Trump was doing needs to be more money needs to be in that right now. Canada needs to buy stock into the Space Force.
Yep.
I don't know how we can actually do that, but
wait, Andrew, are you saying that you're going to get that Space Force football team and you're finally going to come in there and join with the Canadian Football League or the CFL, and you're going to have?
He's trying, ain't he? And he's still trying to get a merger, man.
What did they?
I'm thinking the Argonauts would be a great intergalactic kind of team.
Well, the tagline for the football will be XFL football. It's out of this world.
First of all, Andrew, love the look. I dig it.
Thank you.
I love the look. Absolutely.
You missed the Macho Man he started with, Steve, and that was pretty fun.
Nice. Secondly, though, as much as I love this whole thing about Space Force and having an intergalactic football team and you being a part of it and Mike being a part of it, y'all got to be allowed to leave your house first, bro. You got to get out the house.
This is so true. This is so true. I think it. So yeah, Mike actually said something in one of the last shows. I think he's already in lockdown, and ours just went in. Actually, today is the last day. Literally,
we're in total zero lockdown. The entire province.
Yeah.
Can't go anywhere. Can't do anything. Can't leave your house. Well, you can, but it's very minimal. Very minimal.
And what are they doing? Giving you a little card so you can walk out, and when that card turns red, like Logan's Run, your hand starts to blink.
Great reference, first of all. Yeah,
what got to be a certain age to even know what I'm talking about with that. But
is it?
I remember Logan's Run. That was a great show.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a big movie and TV show buff too, so I do catch most of the references that. Oldham folks throw my way. Mike, so just quickly to touch on that, are you saying, just specifically say for groceries and stuff like that, you can probably go to the store and grab groceries, but you wouldn't obviously be able to go to like like a Booster Juice or a Tim Hortons, like walk into there.
Very minimal, like 1, 2 at a time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Full mask, everything.
Yep. And then same thing on our end. So
how do you explain this, Canada, when Disney World this week and Universal Studios this week in Orlando gave away, they're not even taking temperatures anymore. They're like, the gates are open, come on in. But you go up north of the border where people have been locked up anyway because of winter, and you guys are in total shutdown. Does this make logical sense at all? Anyway,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Mike. You touch on it.
I don't know what to say, Matt. It's our government's different than your government, I guess. Yeah. Our leadership and your leadership, I don't know. So, I'm not a politics kind of guy, so
they don't want this to go away.
How much vaccine do you guys have there?
Here's the thing.
We're getting our vaccine from Belgium right now.
Yeah, we'll touch on this quick, and then we'll kind of switch this up because I don't want to. Yeah, Matt's just like, I ain't having none of this. Right. You Canadians, man. No. Here's the thing. I'll say this quick, and then we'll get back onto the football talk and stuff like that. Because obviously, I don't want to drive away the content of the people on my first show talking about how sad it is to live in Canada. But
hey.
I mean that in respect.
I'm a proud Canadian.
I'm a proud Canadian as well. Obviously, hard times are hard times in any country when they are. So, but here's the thing. What I think our country did is basically we took a liberal democratic stance on it. That's what we are right now. And we basically said we're going to help all the people across the board, to the poor class to the middle class. The rich class is going to be able to pay themselves out of this anyway. I mean, people are going across the border to Montana to grab, shots as well. The fact that there's so many, and Mike would know this as well. Heck yeah, I am Canadian. Hey, I got right here, buddy, right here. But the one thing is, every province here, and you guys have the same thing in the States. Every state's, Republican, Democratic, Independent Party, Rhino Party, all that kind of stuff. Right. We here have 3 different parties that have control all across the board. You got the Liberals and you got the Conservatives, and then you also have the NDP. All 3 have different beliefs and things of what should happen. Not saying anybody, even any conservative or liberal or NDP, no one expected a pandemic. Even when Trump was in power, no one expected a pandemic. So therefore, what happens at the beginning is going to get pushed forward and get pushed forward and get pushed forward. That's the only reason why we're, say, in this predicament anyway, is because, yes, there was a lot of money to get thrown at the people to please stay home and try to fight this. But because you have so many different ideologies across Canada, it didn't necessarily work to the way that they wanted. And that's why we have to do this again. But like I've always said, if we can get it down to 50 cases across every province and then just start marking off who those cases are, then that's when I'm going to be perfectly okay with opening it up, just so we're able to actually find out and see where these cases are going.
I just want to cross the freaking border.
I agree. Whoa. Now they're coming for me. You hear that? Now the cops are coming for me because I've been talking so openly. Like me and Mike here are talking like open Canadians.
I told you, man. Stephen Glasgow's got you on lockdown, buddy.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah. The difference, and not to take it down the political thing at all. This is a major difference, I think, between us and y'all, and not necessarily not that one's good or bad.
Nope. Of course.
We fought a war because they raised the price of tea. We're very different. We are very different. We're like, you know what, guys, we've had this, and we move on. It's just how we are. But it's what? I mean, we're going to fight a war with tea. You can imagine how we get.
And hey, I Mike, I don't want you to ever think I'm not proud to be Canadian. Of course I am. There's going to be times in America that you're not happy with yours, and everybody else and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, right? I'm Canadian, you're American. Our countries are our countries and stuff like that. And we got to love our countries and respect our countries and help our countries get through it. But I'm going to tell you right now.
You know what crosses borders?
What?
Thanks.
A list of prospective defensive rookie of the year odds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go. Good transition. So defensive.
That's pretty deep, Johnny.
Defensive rookie. So you said defensive rookie odds going into next year, eh?
Yeah. Micah Parsons is sitting at the top, plus 400. Jalen Phillips is next at 700.
How about trying?
Jamin Davis is at plus 900. Then you got your Quiddy Pays at plus 1,000. Patrick Surtain plus 1,200. Wasu Kormoa is at 1,400. JC Horn at 1,500.
Ooh, JC Horn one. That's probably one I would hop on.
That's
right
one
off
to
the
stick
bat.
in your pocket. I'm going to tell you that right there.
Yeah, that JC Horn one.
Johnny, where'd you say Surtain was? What'd you say Surtain was?
Surtain is at plus 1,200.
Oh. His what's his name? His dad played in the NFL.
Hold on. You said Fitzpatrick? What team was that?
No, stop it.
And I'm not saying that to try and get Stephen Glasgow. I was just the top of that list that you said.
I will hang up. Stop it right now.
No, he said Minka Fitzpatrick, not Ryan. That's why I was like Minka.
That's his son.
That's his son.
Stop it.
No. So here's one that since I had Johnny and Matt got to answer this.
Wait a minute, Andrew, your guy here, Aziz Ojulari, is at plus 2,000.
How about Chupacabra?
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. Hey.
That sounds like something. That,
I believe he's talking about Chubba Hubbard.
Yeah,
it's a joke, guys.
Is Dante Samuel Jr. on that list? Is he on that list?
No, he is not.
No, I think
that would be a sleeper.
Chupacabra's on the International Developmental League. He comes from Mexico. He's playing for the.
He's a true
ironically,
Jones is going to pick him up.
Ironically, he's actually in the European League playing for the Monarchs. Would you believe that?
Okay, how about Chuba Hubbard? We'll say.
They were just talking. Sorry, go ahead, Steven.
Sorry. I was going to say, Ray, if you said that with a little bit more conviction, people would believe it.
I couldn't. I tried to sell it, but I couldn't. There was too many vowels there. I was trying to say the name of a hockey player.
It's getting to that point, isn't it?
To your point there, Mike, he was just talking about defensive rated players.
Oh, okay.
Though Chupacabra, dude, I'm gonna have to use that on my show.
Chupacabra.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, Chuba is now Chupacabra. And buddy, if you guys don't think that I'm like politely hounding him for an interview,
I'm tweeting that out right as we speak.
Oh yeah, I'm like every time I'm like, hey buddy, you come to Sherwood Park, I'll do 6 feet of distance. I will set up a whole damn show for you. I don't care. I will pay. I don't care. That would get my show so many views. And that's the thing is, I just like Ray and Johnny kind of know from back in the day. When I get on to help people with interviews and stuff like that, I'm like the guy that's in the background, like, yeah, okay, so hi, Levante David, you just got like your 2-year extension and stuff like that. And listen, like, I just need $2,000 to get back to Canada. Is there any way that you can help me? and if not, what's your favorite type of ice cream? You know, like that's me. That's the type of person I would want to be. Like if Joshua Cole Allen ever allowed me to go into one of those interview rooms, he would have to literally give me a script because I would just go in there and be like, "Hi, I'm the Audible B-rated host here, just stepping in for Joshua Cole Allen. I got some questions, but I kind of just tinkled a little bit because I'm Canadian and don't know how to talk American here, so I'm just gonna pass it on to the next one and have a great day, Tom Brady."
Andrew, you bring your full Mountie gear. You bring your full Mountie outfit down here to Tampa Bay, and I personally will talk to Devin White about getting you on a horse over at Raymond James and letting you do that Mountie. We'll let you do that Mountie lap around the field there at Raymond James.
Nice.
Oh my goodness gracious! I have said it before, and yeah, right. Oh my goodness gracious! I have. A few trunks of costumes, that is for sure. And I have, told the fiance.
He said trunks of costumes. He didn't say, I don't have a trunk of costumes. I have a few trunks of costumes.
Yeah, no, I got a few. And yes, Mike, I do have a few dresses. Thank you very much. I do have a few dresses. And you know why? Because there's nothing wrong with wearing a couple of dresses.
Oh my God!
Everybody's got hair out once in a while.
Are you going to come out here right on national YouTube channel? You're going to come out of the closet? Is this what's about to happen?
I'm not here to judge.
Dresses?
No. I would just wear a dress.
You would just wear a dress. They don't let that happen, man.
Andrew, I'm glad you're married. I promise you, as someone who's been especially in my youth, went to a lot of clubs, picked up a lot of ladies. I promise you, the line, "There's nothing wrong with wearing a few dresses," has never worked. It's never worked. I promise.
It never works.
This is true. This is very true. But you know,
chicks just don't dig it. Chicks don't dig it. I'm sorry.
Maybe American girls, because I will say the fiance that I have right now, she was my friend like before we became anything.
Hold on, Andrew. Hold on. You guys notice that Andrew just always falls back into that walking tone?
The walking tone.
Christopher Walken is what he's trying to say.
You do understand that I have many different types of voices. The only problem is trying to like get to them. Like
they have
talking
all for that, Anthony. You can get some treatment.
Anthony, first of all, the name is Andrew, not Anthony.
Andrew, what the hell? This is why I can't go without the names, because I'm old and senile, and I get close but not close enough. This is what happens when you reach my age.
Hold on. First of all, man, I actually thought you did one hell of a joke there. Like if you were trying to make a multiple personality joke, like throwing the Anthony in there, I was like, yo, does he know? Like, how did he know? Yo, Anthony, did you know that he knew about us? Had no clue, man. He just right on up in there. He just kind of knew that we existed. I know, and he's from Oklahoma too. I thought maybe we were like cousins and stuff. Yeah,
all right.
I do have a problem. I'm not going to deny that. Anyways, this has kind of gotten off the rails here a little bit.
What rails?
Oh God!
You're the one who started out. I like to wear dresses on a football show.
And here's the thing, Andrew. All I can see now in my head. In my head, I have a picture of Andrew sitting there with a short on, with his Chubba Hubbard sticking out, and I'm trying to figure out.
Don't say Chubba Hubbard too much; it will be.
Oh my God!
Well, speaking of going off the rails, excuse me, everybody.
Ray brought it home, man. Ray brought it home.
Sorry. Now that we're back, so we got three guys here that I didn't actually get their opinions on. I want to get their opinions on this because this is the way that I wanted to start my first show. Is we'll go Ray. We'll go Ray, Steven, and then Mike here. So we're talking about how there's a lot of fans out there who may be getting, say some of them think that we're getting a little, ahead of ourselves with the going for two, or, we brought all these guys back, but every time you bring someone back, they just get more expensive or they just get older and there's no roster spots for the young guys. And there's some people who, of course, are a little bit scared. There's some people who are really excited, some people who are sad, some people are mad, and there's some people right in the middle, which we like to call like the gray Jedis, which is the life that I would live. And Ray, Steven, and Mike, I basically ask you, and we'll go in that order. We'll go Ray, Steven, and then Mike, is what do you think? Do you think that the expectation going into next year, say for, an undefeated season and another Super Bowl, do you think that we're getting too ahead of ourselves, or do you think we're right in the right state of mind here?
Andrew, you so succinctly put it when you said 17-0 and you said, I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. But you said so succinctly that that's the one thing that's not on Tom Brady's resume. Of course, he goes 16-0, but then he loses the Giants there in 2007. And you talk about the fact that, but here's the thing, and Johnny Dean, I'm sure the rest of y'all back it up, but every week, any given week, you're going to have matchups. You might have the Jets versus the Bucs, but because of some defensive scheme that Robert Saleh is running, it gives the Bucs fit. So to say a team's going to go 17-0 is still one of the pinnacles of the sport. It's got to be one of the hardest things to do. But as far as a team that's stacked, packed, and ready to attack, this Buccaneers 2021 squad, they're the ones that can give it a shot.
Yeah, and this is also coming from the guy who begged for the leg, and we got the dang leg, ladies and gentlemen. We got the dang leg. I need that shirt. I need the Cup of Ray cup, and I need that dang shirt. Beg for the leg. Steven, Do you think we're getting ahead of ourselves, or do you think we're, right in the right area and state of mind?
I can understand where people who are not Bucs fans are feeling some kind of way about this, because in their minds they're thinking, well, you guys were 7-9 last year and you win one Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you think you're going to win 17. So I get it, and I would probably be more in line with that thought. I mean, I'm a fan. I would probably be more in line with that thought if we didn't have Tom Brady. I would probably be more in line with that thought. My girlfriend wants me to know if something. Oh, she cut her chin. Excuse me. Let me answer this question really quickly. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's more likely we'll hit two Super Bowls in 17-0. That's my personal belief. Stand by. I got to take care of something real quick.
Oh, you go take care of it, Steven. You go take care of that. Mr. Mike, not Canadian. I know you are Canadian. What do you think? Do you think that, this overhype here, especially like for Canadians, like, do you think if the borders, were open and stuff like that, that we can actually pay to go and see a winning culture in Tampa? Do you think that we're getting ahead of ourselves here? Or do you think that, it's right to start thinking that this is what we are now? This is a winning culture.
He's not listening.
This is a great conversation there, Mike. We'll get back to you.
I want to say something about that winning culture thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
You posed two different questions. You didn't. That's completely different question.
No, that is true. That is very true.
We're going 17-0. Yes, I do believe this has become a winning culture. There's enough winners on this team right now. Look at all the rings in that house.
Yep.
And and when Arians leaves, that isn't going to destroy the culture, because the everybody below Arians is a winner,
Yep.
So,
yeah, no, and the other side of it too. Yeah. I know a lot of people are still saying, how can we get a winning culture when we've been this bad for so long? Or, we've had mediocrity and this, that, and everything else. Yeah, we did. We have. But the idea that we built a team that all it needed was the sheriff, right? So
if this team goes out there and loses the first game, is everybody going to lose their minds?
No. Yes. Because Ray is actually probably the only person in here that can contest this. Is last year in the Bucs report chat, the first game of the season, the only person said that the Bucs were going to lose was me. And I did say it, and I said it with confidence. I said, I do not want them to beat the Saints this first game. I want them to lose. I want Brady to see his flaws, and I want them to see what they got to fix. And I don't want the Saints to see us winning right off the bat and them have to go to the drawing board and Sean Payton actually get mad. No. I literally said, and again, Ray can contest this, the one thing that I was right about the Bucs last year, besides me and Johnny being completely right about Brady getting 3 rushing touchdowns. Hello. I was right about saying I want the Bucs to lose to the Saints twice, because if we meet them in the playoffs, I want us to win that damn game, because that game right there will be the kicker that gets us all the way to the championship and win it. And believe me, when I even said it at the beginning of the season, I even thought I was crazy. I was like, I don't even see a scenario that we can beat the Saints 2 games and then all of a sudden beat them in the playoffs and win a championship. But we did. And it was awesome. And so with regards to, say, the winning culture, the best part about this winning culture now, like this culture that we got here now, is you go to a TMZ report and all of a sudden Tom Brady is calling Kyle Trask, you need to come throw with me. You think Kyle Trask is saying no? Hell no. You want to know why? Because Brady knows. And it's Brady's self-awareness that is really going to make this franchise and even this culture become a winning, that, exactly what the Patriots are. Anything less than the championship is failure. And I think that's now going to be embedded into Kyle Trask's mind, because now they get to be in that practice facility and Brady gets to throw with him. He gets to actually see his motion, and he now gets to be, like I've said before, this weird president of operations, coach, owner, and also a player at the same time, where he can tell him, you got to work on a couple of mechanics here, buddy.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show. I got to dip out. My battery's dropping below 10%, but I just wanted to come on and say hey to you guys tonight. Thanks for having me, brother.
Ray, as per usual, I appreciate you coming on, buddy, and I will talk to you next weekend.
And you're right.
See you Friday,
You're 100%
Ray.
right about that, Andrew. You made that call about the Saints at the beginning of the season, and I didn't like the call either, but I didn't disagree with it. But you were 100% right, brother. But hey, everybody, Steve, Johnny, Matt, Mike, everyone, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Have a good night, Ray.
Good night.
See you guys.
See you Friday, Ray.
Yeah. And so just sorry, go ahead, Steven.
No, I mean, I love you guessed this at the very beginning of the season. You were saying lose to the Saints twice and beat them in the playoffs.
I even
I did
have it written down. Like I still have it on. The binders are all over there. I do every season. We're going to be doing it on North Sports too. We do a 1.0 and a 2.0, like 2 early predictions of what'll happen. And then I put it I embed it where I'm like, this is what will probably happen. And the only 2 things that I could say that I was basically on the nose was Tom Brady's rushing touchdowns and the fact that we were going to lose to the Saints twice, but we were going to spank them in the playoffs. And yeah, believe me, man, when I called it and I looked at the season, I was like, I would love nothing more for this to happen. But this was also like putting money on Manchester City 5 or 7 years ago when they came back and got those 3 goals in 5 minutes. It's like I never would have expected it. So, in regards, oh yeah. Now, in regards to this winning culture, that's one of the things that kind of backs that up. Is now all of a sudden we got the Saints number. We know who their quarterbacks are. I mean, we don't have that much real tape on Ian Book, but he isn't going to be seeing the dang field in a couple of years here. Same thing with Kyle Trask. Now we get to be like the Saints. We get to be like the Green Bay Packers. We get to be like the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. Is we get a chance almost given to us every single year. Obviously, if injuries and stuff like that are to be in our favor. So this winning culture, I guess I would propose this question to everybody here is, do you think, I guess, it is Brady. It is Brady that's kind of started this. The pieces were already there, but obviously he was like that ecstasy. You know what I mean? You take that and then boom. Do you think, and we'll go around the horn, we'll go Matt and then Johnny, Steven, and then Mike. Do you think that Brady is going to keep and be a part of this winning culture going forward, even say after he retires? Matt, do you think that he's going to be a part of it with the Buccaneers?
I think it would be his job to walk away from. I think that the company or team people, whoever they are, they're going to want him in some kind of capacity. But that means if he's going to do offensive coordinator, that means he's got to take Leftwich's place, which is not probably what they want to have happen. But you were just talking, but you said it, the director of football operations, just as a title. Yep. You could come up with anything. Master of the football. He keeps the air pressure in there, make sure they're 2 pounds under.
Oh, don't give him that position. Don't give him that position.
But to have him, he is a coach on the field, like I think it was Bill Russell did that, and that kind of thing. You Kyle Trask, as I said a couple of weeks ago when he got drafted, he's in the most perfect place of any of the people that got drafted in the NFL quarterback wise, because he's got the top of the chain, the food chain, right next to him, probably 2 lockers down, sharing the same office space with him. And he's got that for 2 or 3 years to get started. That's the way they used to do things. That's the way they did it in Staubach's era. They get drafted and then they sat on the sideline. Don't even ask to go in the game. We're not going to do that this year. We're going to do that next year, maybe the year after. And those quarterbacks became they were better when they got to their first start than Eli Manning was or Peyton Manning was, because they have to come right in and try to figure it out on the fly. That's trial by trial. So I think Brady, if he wants to stay in Tampa and he wants to be part of the team post playing time, it's his ball to carry, whether he wants to do it or not. But it would be a great benefit. My fear is that we get used to this for 2 or 3 years and we become what we're talking about, where we expect to have 10 wins or more every single year, or it's just not going to happen.
No.
And then suddenly we drop off again, going back to the old days, because we're missing the one key element, which is the Brady factor. That needs to infect the whole team, from the administration all the way down to the water boy. to get everything in order so that when he does step aside, we have a winning idea. The one thing, and I see in Pittsburgh, whether you like Pittsburgh or not, Mike Tobin has said to that team, this is how we're going to live. This is how we act. This is what we expect. This is what's going to happen. And if you don't dig it, you're gone. It's simple. And 100%. Everybody on that team knows it, right down to the peanut vendors that are walking up and down the aisles.
Yep.
So we need to have that in Tampa. And we have never had that.
And I agree.
And that's the one thing. If we can get that to transplant and get that seed in here and make that happen, where we're looking at a coach where we're not talking about, well, let's fire him. The first thing comes out of people's mouths right now is fire him.
Every 2 years.
Like Pittsburgh, they're like, we're having a down year. We'll be okay. They do that in Tampa because that's all we know. Everybody sucks, and we need to get somebody new, and we keep going through that regurgitation of starting over and starting over and starting over. That's got to stop. And I think Brady could help us do that.
Good point. Very good point. Johnny, what do you think Brady's going to be helping this culture after, like, say he's done his playing days, and where would you see the benefit of him if he was, or if he does leave, where do you see the downside of it?
Well, let's start with the benefit. The benefit is Brady convinces everybody that is on this roster that they're winners, that all they have to do is put in the effort and put in the time, and they're going to win. And they bought into it 100%. Okay. To Matt's point of view, Tobin is following the Rooney way. That's the Rooney way. 3 coaches in their lifetime. Okay. You don't see teams do that.
No, you definitely don't.
And that's what makes the Rooneys unique. As far as Brady goes with the Bucs, I think Brady has not only taught the team, but he's taught the Glazers. This is how you do this. This is how it's supposed to be done. And I do believe that the Glazers are paying attention.
I hope they are. Now,
yes, I do believe we'll see Brady coaching or part ownership.
Yeah, I don't see a way, even when you have billions and billions of dollars. I don't, when you're Kraft and you get your billions when you're Kraft and you get more rich off of a guy. It's one thing when you're like, listen, I have my wealth and I can get it in different ways. Like I can keep at mediocrity until later on and be fine. At least with the Glazers, it is maybe starting to seem like, yeah, okay, we have billions of dollars and we do own, a soccer team and this, that, and everything else. Maybe we can start the transition process where we just benefit off of the success off the Buccaneers, and we will allow Brady and say maybe TB12 or somebody else who may be coming in like Guerrero or something like that to buy ownership stake and start to make that transition. Yeah, that's something that I think would be beneficial, and I would want to see as well. Now to Steven, same question to you, but also as well, because I think we're all kind of in agreement here, is if we were to have Brady, obviously I think that the culture would be winning and I think it would be successful. Do you think allowing, say, all of his kind of guys into it would be more beneficial, or do you think just having like him and maybe like Giselle around, like the type ownership like you see Peyton with the Colts, or I lost the other guy's name there, Jim Kelly with the Bills, like you kind of you're that owner and you can help with the trades or the decisions that get made around the front office and stuff like that? Do you think that they would extend too far if they started asking like Guerrero and stuff like that? Or as a fan, would you just want to keep it like, listen, I want Brady to kind of own this a little bit more. I want Brady to kind of run this when he's done. What do you think?
Well, I'm actually going to go a little bit different direction, Andrew. As you guys know, I'm a Brady fanboy because I've been following him since Michigan. And although I like the idea, and I would love for him to stay in capacity, I think there is a possibility of them offering some type of ownership stake to keep him here. But I think when Brady's done, his goal is to expand his TB12 method throughout all of the NFL. So he's not necessarily going to attempt to tie himself to Tampa. He wants TB12 everywhere in the NFL because that's how he continues legacy, not just with Tampa, although I think he loves Tampa. I think he stays here. I think he keeps his home here. I think he loves the culture, people, everything. But he controls brand throughout all of the NFL, not just two teams. So I think that's where his focus is going to lie. He's going to transition from a football player and with hopefully some type of ownership in the team to a business mogul promoting his brand TB12, because that's his real passion outside of football. He believes in that method, and so I don't think he's gonna want to coach at all. I don't think coaching in a coaching capacity like an OC is in his heart. In my perfect world, I would love to see him play 2 more seasons, see Tampa Bay win 2 more Super Bowls, be the first team in NFL history to three-peat, which would be phenomenal. Whenever Aaron rides off to the sunset, Tom Brady retires, and then I'd love to see our DC take over as the head coach, because I think Todd would be phenomenal. I really do.
I agree. I do think if we can keep Bowles and Leftwich, and both of those guys get to make the decisions later on, or like the coaching decisions and the personnel helps with that kind of thing. Yeah, I do see a benefit in that. One thing, and this is going to sound, a couple of guys are probably going to laugh and be like, "Oh, Andrew's talking about that damn merger again." But this is something that I've always thought about as kind of like a funny, and if I sometimes do call into the Pat McAfee show just to see if I can ever ask him a question, and it may work one time, it may not work one time.
You're better off calling in Dan Patrick, dude. They at least answer you.
Oh, I know, and hey, props to Pat McAfee show. They're trying. My thing is, I don't ever think, because I agree with you. I do deep down think that he does like the health and benefit stuff a little bit more. Might be something that he's looking into, and you can't just implement that into the NFL. Like they have their own health and safety regulations and stuff like that. You know who doesn't right now? The XFL CFL merger that might happen. And this is there's a couple of the last. Now the only reason I bring it up is when I went to UMD, the University of Minnesota in Duluth, for a training camp. And this is where I actually had a chance to get scouted to play football. Wouldn't have been in, major college or major NCAA. I think it was junior A. Busted the knee, all that kind of stuff. I was a kicker, good defensive end, blah, 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 whatever. But when I was down there, like, they were sponsored by Vitamin Water. So that whole kitchen and stuff like that, you could just walk in and grab vitamin waters free with every meal that you had. Right. And then when you looked at the menu and stuff like that, the menu was like, oh my God, it was sponsored by like JC Penney. It was something so weird. And I'm like, why the heck is JC Penney got this sponsorship here? This makes no sense. But it started to make me think, like, later on when I started thinking of, everything else with the CFL merger, and Johnny knows that I've started to get a little too deep into some stuff here. My thing is, if they do this CFL NFL merger, one thing that I wrote in my article before too is you're allowing money to flow into Canada that would then go into these universities that have bred some really good football players, whether they're CFL players or NFL players. Now, all of a sudden, more of that money gets in there. Now, all of a sudden, you can have different owners in some of these teams. Now, all of a sudden, say if Tom Brady wanted, he can go and buy the Toronto Argonauts, because if you guys in the chat here do recall, one time there was 3 really big people who owned the Argonauts one day and actually took a pretty prominent NFL prospect away from the NFL draft and signed him to like a $10 million contract, which is dumb. But it was Wayne Gretzky, John Candy, and another name that I'm actually forgetting. They all owned the Argonauts at one point and made that decision. My point is,
Bruce McNall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's my thank you, Mike. We had these guys owning a CFL team, right? So now all of a sudden, if you allow Tom Brady to say own, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, I'll throw that in there for Mike because he's closer there. Or you allow him to take ownership of, the Toronto team. You allow his TB12 methods to be more exposed, obviously, to the realm of all these other players that it would have. So I've been a big proponent of, if this merger happens, like, I think one of the reasons why they're trying to be so secretive in this CFL XFL merger is because there is opportunities in this that we aren't even thinking of. and I'm trying to write a proper article about it, but I keep putting the F word in there sometimes, and they don't like reading that. So I gotta.
What's that? Foreclosure?
No.
You
I foreclosed on that. I foreclosed on that.
I was thinking that word this whole diatribe.
So no, we do have one more person that looks like they want to join us for the last half
Eric Moreno
of the cheap seats, which I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And then we're going to get to Mike's conversation here about what he thinks. Eric Marino, thank you for joining us. How you doing this Sunday evening?
I'm good.
Not too much. Good. We're just talking about the dynasty of what is going to possibly be of the Buccaneers and what the winning culture is going to be like. We were just going to get Mike's opinion here quick, and then we'll get to you. Mike, do you think Brady is going to stick around after, say, he is done playing and retire? And do you think he's going to bring a winning culture to us and keep it?
He'll stick around as long as Giselle wants him to.
Say that again?
Oh, stick around as long as Giselle says so.
As long as Giselle said so.
And I think he'd be a hell of a quarterback coach.
I mean, you're also not wrong.
A hell of an offensive coordinator or a head coach. It don't matter.
Chad Christensen and Bruce Arians and all those guys are, getting relatively old. So that is a good point. I mean, you're definitely not wrong.
Who's the coach of the Bucs who played he coached Manning back a few years ago?
Chad Christensen.
No, the old guy.
Oh, Tom Moore.
Arian?
Yeah.
Tom Moore,
yeah.
He'll take that guy's spot, maybe.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's not wrong. I mean, listen, like they do always bring in new players to do coaching and stuff like that. So it wouldn't seem to be.
That's Arians' stick, man. He develops coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Eric. So the question then would go to you is when Brady is done, winning bowls and scoring 2 tutties in the Super Bowl and stuff like that with Gronky, do you think that he is going to stick around and help develop a winning culture with the Buccaneers, either in front office, as a coach, somewhere? And how do you see it happening?
As long as Giselle gets said so, well, it says yes. Well, basically what Mike says. Okay. I mean, I think he'll stick around.
I gotta say something about this, man. This Giselle thing.
Yeah,
you guys act like Tom Brady's neutered, man. Tom Brady's got $250 million in his own pocket, man. He ain't neutered, dude. That guy is not neutered. Trust me.
Probably got more than that.
And as far as football culture goes, if it's in your blood, it's the hardest thing to walk away from that locker room there is. He didn't play this game for 20 friggin' years because he just wants to make more money. He don't care. He had $100 million his first 5 years in the league. Okay, he plays this game for the love of the locker room and the love of the game. Okay?
And
that is an addiction you don't walk away from.
Yep, and there's an opportunity.
Where the court comes in.
Yeah, I think he'll stay around.
Eventually, he's going to reach that point where he's got to step down from actively playing.
Yes.
And he's not going to want to go home and hang out by the pool with the kids. It's going to be part of him. So you're going to watch. If Bill Gates can get divorced because he's got some side action that he's had for 20 years, and all of a sudden it's a problem. What the hell happens with a Brady who's
no?
Yeah, I was gonna say
his wife is running the show apparently, and that isn't going to be acceptable.
Here's the thing. There is a book, and I keep going back to this book because I did, and I don't want to say I read it because I obviously didn't read it when you audible a book, right? You listen to the book, but I say read the Dynasty book. That is about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and just gives you a lot of insight from behind the scenes and stuff like that. And Giselle actually, gave a lot for them to stay in Boston. She gave a lot of money and a lot of opportunities to stay in Boston just so that they could continue to win championships. Yes, they do have money. They do have endorsements and this, that, and everything else. But if you, and in the book, they talk about, say, the grand scheme of what it could have been. And if you talk about just a base, $10 million, right, is what they, got, which is obviously definitely not what they got every year living in Boston. They got more, but just to give you guys an idea. if they had $10 million that they both got in Boston and stuff like that, the opportunities that they could have had if they would have left sooner, they could have had $120 million every year, to give you kind of like the perception that it was. There is a reason why he is playing as long as he is playing right now. And one of the reasons I think that is to have an opportunity to own something or to be close to a franchise that will allow him to stay around because he's won them a championship. And that's exactly what he's now done. So now it's like, here, I'll groom a new quarterback for you. I'll continue to sell your jerseys, 120% increase on all your sales.
1,200.
Or 1,200. Sorry. Thank you. Add another zero to that number. Thank you very much. We got upgrades happening to Raymond James Stadium. There's even now talks of a brand new stadium for the damn Bucs and stuff like that.
Yes. Like a closing roof.
Yeah.
Retractable roof. So when it rains, close it. When it's sunny, then just open it up.
Well, have you ever been to Diamondback Stadium in Phoenix? Mm-hmm. They run the air conditioner with the roof open. It's 100 degrees outside, but the clientele that's paying the money is under air conditioning.
You're talking about the
so much
stadium,
so that
right?
if you get upper seats in July, you end up with having you need a sweater.
See, and that's why they should have done. I mean, there's obviously not that much black in the Cardinals uniform, but the Raiders, like that, there's a video online of a worker when the inside of the stadium was basically done, like the full construction was done of Alliance Stadium, and that black that's on the side of the stadium is actually a type of black that actually repels and absorbs the sunlight in and actually cools down the interior of that stadium. So the guy goes into a corner and he walks there and he literally stands right there and he goes, watch this. And he puts his camera up and you can see his breath. And I was like, listen, if you all of a sudden got this Vader looking Death Star in the middle of the desert that can just cool your people without flicking a damn switch, you have done a damn good job.
Technology is marvelous, isn't it?
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen.
Eric raised his hand.
Hold on, Eric. Put your hand down for a moment. Thank you very much. And have some respect. We have a guest about to come in here. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to conduct this, but we're going to see how this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears, newly drafted Justin Fields. Hi there. Oh, how are you?
What?
Justin Fields, you are muted. You may want to turn that off. I'm sorry to be a little unprofessional in this interview here, but you definitely are muted. I'm gonna.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. So hi.
He doesn't know how to turn the mic on.
I don't know.
That's one of those. What do you call that?
He's in Chicago. You don't.
Chicago don't have internet, or
they just never learned how to use it.
Oh, okay. Well, Justin, we're gonna take you out here for a second. We're gonna get my agent, which is literally just my wife. She is really attractive. She'll get a hold of your agent. I know the phone call will take a little long. Just tell them to hang up eventually, please. She's not going to give you their number, and we'll get you back on here and figure out what's going on. Okay?
He said, "Let me in."
Well,
yeah. I know.
And what we got? We got a guy on the mic.
Is that really him?
No. Come on now. Now he's doing some dance.
It's Outkick.
Who is that?
I think we have Justin Fields dancing.
Yeah, it's a TikTok video.
He's on a TikTok.
No, ladies and gentlemen, this is a challenge, and obviously, I'm being challenged.
You gonna break it loose? Go, man, go!
Keep your clothes on.
Doing the Batusi. Oh, he quit it. He stopped. You win.
That's right. That's right.
Andrew,
That's right.
Note Sports Dynasty, the
That's
winner.
right.
Andrew 1, Justin Fields 0.
Bye, he said.
See ya.
That was awesome.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. God, that feels good. Gosh, damn it!
So do
All
you
right.
get like you get cranked while you have an online video show? I mean, is that
Dude,
something?
You don't have a
thing?
show until you get pranked, man.
Here's the thing, though. If someone actually thought, okay, 1 second, Eric. If someone actually thought they were going to just come in here and throw the biggest curveball and it was just going to make me jumble my words and screw up my show, you obviously forgot what Canadian you're messing with. This is my show. This is my cheap seats. Thank you very much.
Python. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, you had a question. What's up, buddy?
Has anyone ever heard of Ron Moulton?
I've heard of Molten Golden. That's a beer.
I just want you to know that Rick has warned me about this. Who is this that you speak of?
Former Eagle and former Gator. Was drafted in '98 in the 6th round by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, okay. That clears it right up for me.
I just met him a couple hours ago. He's from Clearwater.
Right on.
Yeah, it's a nice guy.
Nice. Please get him to sign something for us. I don't even know. 6th rounder though. Whoa! Keep the water bottle away from me.
Outside linebacker. He tore up his he tore up his knees, so that he would have kept playing.
Fair enough. Well, we do have the end of the show.
Kept playing if we hadn't tore up her knees, man.
Yeah,
I would have kept playing if I didn't run a 5.240. I mean, that was a little bit of setback.
Listen, the only thing that happened to me is guy was running the ball in my 13th year of high school. Yes, we have 13 years of high school here.
What?
No. 13th year. You got grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, depending on what province you go to. And if you want to come back and play some sports and get some more credits and stuff like that,
if you're extra dumb, you get 1 more year.
What's that?
If you're extra dumb, you get 1 more year of schooling.
That, I mean, they also call it that too, but I didn't want to, just completely insult myself. Anyway, so
wow.
With me, third game into the season in my grade 13 year, just running back just hit my knee while the offensive lineman hit it the other way. So my whole bottom half of my leg just kind of went like this. And it was like, yeah, okay. And then I remember going on the sideline and I'm like, I can't put any pressure on it, this, that, and everything else. And my coach goes, so we just picked it off and got a touchdown. Can you kick the extra point? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I can try. As soon as I go to step, I hit the ground and he's just like, so no, or like, I'm like, no, I apparently not. I'm just gonna grab my leg like this. Here we
Throw
go.
it over my shoulder.
Yeah,
carry it off the field.
Just give it like a little whip and stuff. So we want to get to the fans here. I just got to see exactly where the heck I'm clicking because got to protect myself from the Florida shade.
Watch where you touch. Watch what you touch, man.
Watch what I touch.
Yeah, that stuff will burn you.
My fiance is not here. Okay, thank you very much. How many preseason games are there going to be? There is going to be 3. Well, we think they may cancel the preseason again this year. We don't know.
I saw people saying 2, and I like, when did they do that? It was supposed to be 3.
We'll have to get a double confirm, but as of right now, I am going to say 3 with almost full confidence because
1 less preseason game, one more.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure what.
Hey, Johnny, are we playing to a full stadium this year?
What?
Are we playing to full capacity?
Yep.
Yes.
They're supposed to. That's the plan.
Oh,
yep.
The Atlanta Braves have got 100% open.
Yeah.
Super spreader.
That's like 25,000.
Hey, Mike.
Yo.
Super awesome, man.
Super spreader.
We're getting vaccines here, man. I don't know what's going on in Canada, but
we are getting ours. Don't worry, we are getting ours. Oh, what do we got, Matt? Hold on, let me put you on there 1 second. There it is. 3.
Thank you.
Google is your friend.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
I didn't even think there was a question there. I thought it'd always been 3.
I like what Teresa said.
Talk about 3.
Teresa says I think the Bucs will be fine if they don't believe.
I like what Teresa said. Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't believe their own press, I say 15-2. That's a good one, Teresa, because if they don't believe their own press, because if you have one bad game like against the Bears, for example, like we had last year, everyone's going to tear you down and be like, Mr. Tom Brady, you lost to Nick Foles again. Is your career over? Mr. Tom Brady, you obviously cannot play in cold weather. That's the best thing
that can happen to you, because that tells the players who are feeling themselves a little bit, hey, knock it down a notch.
What the hell? This is a family show.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to start making shirts that literally just say, thanks, Matt. That'll be my version of the cheap seats, like first version shirt. It'll be like, thanks, Matt. And then on the back, it'll be this logo that you literally see right here. Boom. That logo right there at the top. I don't have it.
Logo.
I know, right? Rick.
Ivan the Red.
Yeah. Rick made that logo for me.
Paul Bunyan.
There we go. There it is. Yeah. Rick made that logo for me and I was so happy. I'm like, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to.
After you took his job, he made you.
It's a little.
Yeah. a little.
Nice.
Okay. Well, what else we got here?
It's a little too Ryan Fitzpatrick for me, but I like you. So.
Andrew D. Gold bling going on.
Did I get a new microphone that's covering the bottom half of your face? No, actually, I moved everything around. Now, like I'm a little bit closer to the big whiteboard here and right here, but I can also actually sit underneath my desk because I built my office on a stage. Don't literally ask me why. I just wanted to build a stage. I got really high, and I built a stage.
I thought you were eating gummies with my nephew or something. Man. He had a stage too.
Oh no, Johnny! I ain't the one that's at Bucs Report that's eating gummies. Oh no, it's me.
Oh, I get that joke.
The reason why is because I put this desk here so I can actually sit underneath. Because every time I did a show, I'd like extend like this, like I'd be sitting awkwardly like this the whole time, and I'm like, okay, I gotta stop doing this. So, yeah, my apologies, guys. I gotta go tonight. I love the conversations though. Listen to my posture. I literally. Oh, this is.
Just mute us, dude.
No. I was gonna make a bad joke because you said my posture, and I was just like, literally, my posture is a mixture of Smeagol and Terry Fox when I walk. Okay, so.
Hey, Matt, you got to come back on camera and bring out Smeagol again.
Listen, I only bring up Terry Fox because he is a Canadian hero, and the more that we bring him up, the more awareness that he gets.
Wow.
When he first brought that thing up, I was like, since when did you start getting like statues of me? Like all of a sudden, like Pat, that's literally the one like ending scene in Ghost that you didn't see after Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore were making the clay stuff. That's actually what they made after they made. Yeah. After Patrick Swayze literally roadhoused the back at never mind. So going back to the comments here. Hey, what's up, guys? Christopher Cole, thank you for joining us. You're 100% right, Matt. I don't know.
She knows the stuff right there.
I don't know.
Knows what's going on.
No. They don't if they think you're 100% right, Matt. We have issues if our we literally have issues here, Matt, if our fans and other miscreants think that you are 100% right. Okay, I
am.
No,
as long as you ask me if I'm right. Yes.
It's fair. We're going to get every team's best. Oh my goodness!
Wait a minute. I got something to say about that, Christopher.
Go ahead.
Do you think we didn't get every team's 100% best last year with Tom Brady stepping onto that field? You got every defensive player in the league has Tom Brady as their bullseye.
Oh yeah, you pick that ball off and you just keep that ball to the sidelines. That ball is worth a lot of money.
That target went on the Bucs' back as soon as Tom Brady put that uniform on.
That's cheap retirement fund if you pick off Brady and keep that ball, guys. Like,
absolutely.
I just bought. I literally, you guys aren't going to believe this. I bought today because someone was having an auction, and I just don't know if too many people didn't see this auction. But I ended up getting like a Brady card that like is it's like select, and I had to pay I think $20 for $12 for it. And I'm like, okay, that's a steal. Awesome. I got a Brady card. I'm going to put on the shelf and blah 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 blah. I got a optic Tua rookie card for $4 effing. That's a $300 card if I really wanted to. People just don't understand the value of some of this stuff, man. Like if I was a defensive player, if one of my teammates intercepted that ball and they just literally drop it, I'm grabbing that damn thing, man. And I'm asking Brady to sign it. Okay, Eric, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good one. Bye. Your dog. Yeah, the dog went off.
He let the dogs out.
You know what I did once?
Ooh. Go ahead.
This rookie card I used on the back tire of my bicycle to make a clacker.
Wow.
And then about 25 years later, I realized, dumb.
Buddy, it's the same thing with me and those damn Charizard cards from Pokemon. I used to have 2 back in the day that I traded for on the playground when I was in like grade 5 or 6, and they went through the wash. And now I'm looking at the prices that those cards go for, and I detest my mother on Mother's Day. No, I'm just kidding.
My mom gave all my G.I. Joe stuff to the Goodwill. And those
Matt,
were the days
do you realize we're talking about those cards that he just brought up, Pokemon cards in his youth?
The only reason I did that is because if you want to talk about like 2 cards that are probably worth the same value, is one of those damn Charizards from back in the day and a Pete Rose rookie card are probably the same value.
Yeah.
That's how dumb it is.
The timeline here just hit me hard when you said that.
Put it this way, you know how I've been trying to find, and I don't care if it's a PSA 2 or 3. I just want to have a piece of baseball card from the 1800s, like obviously like the 1890s and stuff like that. But every single piece of damn paper from the 1890s goes for $2 to $3 grand, and I'm like,
Well, that's because they didn't do what they didn't mass produce them. They put them in a pack of cigarettes.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And that's totally okay too. Like that, honestly, I would much rather that. I would much rather have, the biggest fan of all time be, his card is the one that I bought because I know exactly where it's sat. And it probably, as someone probably said, it probably scooped up some cannabis to be, swept up into a joint there at one point. That's all the stuff I need there. Going back to this though, the crazy thing is that 20-0 is not totally crazy when this with this team. I said, because I like numbers. It's just always what's turned me on. And numbers, when you looked at it, it was like, why not go for it this year? Because 02 is the new 20, right? When you were looking at it. Because technically when they won the Super Bowl, it was in 2003. And technically when we won the Super Bowl, it was in 2001 or 2021. But when you look at like the Super Bowl years of it, it's the 02 Bucs and it's the 2000 Bucs that have won the championships. So that being said, the crazy thing is that 20-0 is really not that crazy because we do tend to have this weird respect for 02 and 2-0 right now. Why do you think Trask decided to take number 2?
Because he knew he was going to be backing up Brady in a year.
This is true. But there's something about the numbers, guys.
Because he knew he was going to fail. So he was
something about the number. Look at me. Like I love Pavel Datsuk. He's 13. Mike Evans, he's also 13. Coincidence? I think not. Anyways.
To add to your conspiracy, though, if Trask was really, really that far-sighted, he would have picked number 3.
I also agree.
Why would he get a 3?
And listen,
3 Pete.
Bad number.
Yeah.
3 Pete.
3
Yeah,
Pete.
but that's a bad number. You got Winston.
Well, then we have to go with 4 then and have 4 Pete.
4 Pete, 5 Pete, 6 Pete. We could be the only team.
We'll be the anti-Buffalo Bills. We'll go to 4 straight, but we'll win them all.
You know what?
Win that 4th one off of the Bills.
On paper, though, statistically, that's just not going to happen. I mean, there's no way in the world that you could. Now watch it happen. But
of course,
there's no way in the world that you should expect that. It's just the odds are against it. There's going to be an off game.
100%. They're all absolutely against it. Look, San Francisco's got all their players back, and they're going to be a tough team in the NFC. Washington is going to be a tough team in the NFC. I still say the Saints. I know you guys don't agree with me, but
I respectively kind of do.
And I think Carolina is going to be the.
Carolina's a year away from, but they are building toward it. Yes,
I am not looking.
Come into Tampa Stadium and everybody's going to say, "Oh, they're rebuilding," and then they rebuild right on top of our head.
So, that's the old Buccaneer fan in you, Matt Colson.
Well, it's realistic. You can't win 20 games in a row. If you could, more people would have. I mean, there's been some great teams.
Wait. I don't expect. My expectations are not for an undefeated season.
I am.
I would love it. I would think that'd be the best thing that could happen if we don't go 19-1, and that one being that last one. That's the thing that will break my heart. I mean, you saw Cam Newton falling on the ground crying when it happened to them up in Carolina,
right?
And,
Nothing.
I mean, that's a hell of a letdown to think that you just walked through the whole damn the whole league, and you couldn't do it one more time. I mean,
the Giants destroyed Brady too in that, and I think he keeps that in his mind all this time too.
And you know what Brady also destroyed? All those giant jerseys in Raymond James Stadium. Thank you very much. God, that pissed me off as a fan up here in Canada. Every time watching them. Oh my God. I was like, did we all of a sudden get to MetLife in 2 minutes? What the hell is this?
No, Chicago travels real well. The Green Bay Packers travel real well. And any New York team travels.
Yeah. All those northern teams, they do travel very, very well. Arians is not leaving, in my opinion. He and Brady will go out together. I also do agree with that. I think if they got, say, 3 championships, they would be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Right after the 3rd. I am the best quarterback in the draft. You're also the worst dancer on my show. Oh, you literally, I threw a Napoleon Dynamite move on you, dude. You got owned. You got owned. Your little TikTokies and your little, yeah, that don't work on me. I got skills and they multiplying. You don't want none of what I'm supplying.
Go, Olivia.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Matt. Agreed, Johnny. Fire the buck and cannon. I don't have the cannons.
Blackie, what's up, my brother?
But also, yes, Blackie, welcome to the show. Hi, Frodo. My dog is here. No, not a hobbit. It's an actual dog. NFC South. Yes, sir. NFC South will go Buccaneers, Panthers, Falcons, Saints. Oh, I don't necessarily.
I don't think that could be. That could be possible.
It could. Okay, here's the thing. It could be possible, but if that happened, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints are all going to be 7-9 then, or 7-10.
They'll almost be there.
Yeah, because guys, I'm not going to lie. We hated the beginning of Julio Jones's career. We're going to hate the beginning of Kyle Pitts' career. That's one inevitable. The other inevitable is we are not going to enjoy playing the Panthers when they actually start to figure out what that team is.
Team's on the rise. People laugh at me when I say that, but they were on the rise with Bridgewater. Yep. Now they got the quarterback they want. And
respectively, yeah.
Yeah.
They got one whole draft where they took all defensive talent, and all that defensive talent is absolutely amazing. They went out of nowhere this year and went and grabbed JC Horn, which really kind of, not say irked us, it made us Buccaneers fans respect what the Panthers are doing. And now we're more like, me and Johnny talk a lot about the Panthers because we're like, we better not forget about them because they're coming.
They didn't do anything to improve their game against the Bucs, though.
They're
the thing. They're still weak as hell in the middle. That middle, and bring Kyle Pitts over here and let me introduce you to Levante
David and Devin White there. Oh yeah, yes. I got you, buddy. I agree.
And by the way, there's a safety on our team that is keeping up with his father's name.
And I agree. It's not going to be like, hey, Julio Jones, do you want to come play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense in your first year? It's like, yeah.
Oh, and ask Tyreek Hill about Jamal Dean, man.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
And that's the thing is the Buccaneers are notorious because we have done it a few times. We have bad games where we allow a lot of yards, but we also have games that we had the whole entirety of this year where we kicked some major ass. One strike. We did good. We won the championship, and we proved to a lot of people that we are not to be messed with this year. And
if you can get 30 every game, you're going to win more often than not.
Yep.
And that seemed to be our marker. If we get to 30 and then the third quarter halfway through, the game's over.
The Bucs averaged 31 points per game last year.
Yep.
That was their average.
The other side of it too. The other side of this, guys, is the things that we always threw out there to be, say, like the downside of Brady, and I'll bring this up before we get out of here, is, the Bruce Arians system and the O-line. I'm talking about the beginning of last year, not like at the end, but the O-line and Bruce Arians system, and he's old and he doesn't know all the players. Now he knows all the players. Now we've upgraded our offensive line even in this offseason. Now this team that helped not only Jameis Winston, but a guy that we shall not name because he plays for a Washington football team, and we have a person on this show who does not like hearing that name. But those two people both put 55 points up one time. These guys also had 500-yard passing games. Still around the same system. Dirk Cutter and Bruce Arians' systems are different, but not so far different when it comes to the motions and the play actions that you can get. It is not so far-fetched to assume or to say to all those Buccaneer fans who don't think that we should slow down. I throw this at you.
Andrea, saying that Dirk Cotter's and Bruce Arians' system are a lot alike is like saying a shark and a goldfish are the same.
Because they swim in the same waters and stuff. Yeah, I know. It was more so just based off of the play action. It was trying to basically go off.
This system is far more malleable. Yes. He can go into any game and face any opponent and mold the game to that opponent.
Yep.
Some of them are a little bit rougher, like the Washington team and stuff. But
of course,
they're still there. They're still there, man.
And the only reason that we had the only reason I think we had trouble with the Washington football team is because the Washington football team is one of the only teams out there that has enough talent to compete. Same with us.
Their scheme mirrors our scheme a lot.
Oh yeah. So the other side of it, though, is this. I'm going to put it out there right now because it's too early to say, obviously, like if major injuries and stuff like that. But if we're talking a healthy squad right now, this Buccaneer offense throughout the entirety of the season, I think, can average 32.5 points per game throughout the entirety of the season. And I wouldn't even blink at it. I think if Brady's got Trask and company coming to throw in the offseason, I think he's just getting that arm warmed up. He's just making sure that everybody remembers the plays, remembering those little, hey, we can't do that play. Let's do this. He's going to get it all in there because now we want to go for 2. We don't want mediocrity. We don't want anybody taking us off this high horse. We got the GOAT. We're going to utilize the GOAT. We're going to put as much sheep and other goats that the GOAT wants around him. Whatever sheep and whatever goats he wants, we're going to get them. I don't care if we got to trade the whole next year's draft class. You want it, you'll get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close this out by giving everybody here a quick little platform to show and say where they can be found. Oh, Mike decided not. So he's Canadian, and he's gone.
He don't like platforms.
You don't like platforms, but we always love Mike, and we thank Mike for everything, this, that, and everything else. Let's go to Matt. Where can everybody find you?
Exit 186.
Yeah.
Just inside the middle of Oklahoma. Right in the center of the country. All roads lead to Oklahoma City. Just remember that. 17 miles south of the Mother Road, US 66, which is now open, COVID-free. They got a big ad running, so come on down, Chicago to LA. All right, you guys have a good night. I'm out of here.
Thank you again, Matt, for joining in. And next time you're at your local 7-Eleven, pick up a $2 Oklahoma Thunder hat for me, if you don't mind.
I'll see what I can do about that, man.
I appreciate you, buddy. You have yourself a good one, and thank you again. Steven, tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm on YouTube channel, but you can find me mostly here at the Bucs Report. Great show, Andrew. Love being on with you guys. I guess the next show will be a Monday night with Rick and Blackie's comment earlier that you had up. If it's true about the lineup for who wins the division, Rick will be doing the Super Bowl shuffle in Tampa because that
Not
means
going
he
to
lost the
happen.
bet.
Not going to happen.
Who knows? Who knows? Thank you again, Stephen, for coming in, and we hope to see you again next Sunday. And thank you for being one of the miscreants.
Yes, sir. You will. Have a great night.
Thank you again, sir. Have yourself a good one. All right, Johnny. It's now me and you. How you doing? No, just kidding. Tell everybody where they can find you, and thank you for coming on as usual.
What's Happening Sports on Facebook, and you can find me on Friday nights at 11 p.m. with Ray Kennedy right here on Bucs Report. We'll be talking football and maybe a little diatribe from Ray Kennedy. Who knows?
Right on. Well, thank you again for joining us as per usual. Thank you for being one of the miscreants, and thank you for he's gone. But thank you again, Johnny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my first full show. I did not get sunburned. I came prepared. So I want to thank you all for giving me the tips for that. Thank you all again for tuning in. This is awesome. I love being part of Bucs Report. You can follow Bucs Report on basically Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe to them. That's how you get to see me a little bit more. And if you don't want to see them, too bad you can't unfollow. It's just the way it is. I don't even know where to find that button, so don't ask. But anyways, thank you all again. Thank you all. Really mean this. It's awesome to be, up here north of the border, sharing my love for the Buccaneers with all of the fans here at Bucs Report and across the world. You guys mean the world to me and to everybody here at Bucs Report. Thank you again. I will be, here every Sunday with a lot of sun beaming down on me here from the cheap seats. I will be your host going forward, Andrew Faubert. Thank you all again. This has been awesome. We'll see you Sunday. We'll talk more Bucs. And we'll talk more random junk like we always do. Thank you again. Have yourself a great day. Ciao, ciao for now.